Hey, Pokemon Masters, Birdkeeper Toby here, and I know what you're thinking. Is Birdkeeper Toby getting involved in clickbait? She's trying to take on Matt Pat. No way, Matt Pat has a your theories are better than his theories.
Faker, Toby.
I found you, Faker.
Faker? I think you're the fake hedgehog around here. You're comparing yourself to me? Huh. You're not even good enough to be
I'll
my
make you eat those words.
There's no time to play games. You won't even get the chance.
Okay, stop. Haha. Look, I love game theory as much as the next guy. In fact, if he wasn't doing game theories, Matt Pat, then I probably wouldn't be doing Pokemon theories, right? Basically, heralded the content, and the thing is, I'm a Brit, so we're not that confrontational. I don't do the YouTube drama thing, but the thing is, you're so unbelievably wrong, Matt. Again, I totally love your videos, but I'm going to debunk your theory and then propose my own theory and then prove that theory with another one of your theories. So sit back, relax, make sure you've checked out Matt Pat's videos on how old Ash Ketchum is in the description below, and then let's hear the true answer to how old is Ash Ketchum. So first off, Ash Ketchum, this bit really doesn't need explaining. You know the premise. Ash Ketchum, kid from Pallet Town, he's 10, and yet seemingly 10 forever. He has been for about 2 decades. And while this might just be, you know, a kid's TV show, some of us here on the internet feel the need to go, no. Why is that? What's the law? What's the reasoning? Sorry, it's a cartoon? No, there must be some deeper meaning behind it. Why does he look so young? Does he have just really good skincare products?
Great looking skin starts way before your makeup. We're worth it.
Well, no, or at least I don't think so. I don't know. But that's not my theory, and that's not Matt Pat's theory either. In his video, he uses the cycles of the years as seen in the TV show. Whenever there's winter, spring, summer, autumn, whenever they cycle round, that must mean a year has progressed and thus Ash is a year older. And by the end of the whole thing, he's like 19, 20 years old, traveling around with 10-year-old girls. So yes, Matt Pat, you're right, that would be weird if that were true. But what if I told you a cycle of 4 seasons doesn't necessarily mean a year? I mean, it does in our world, but the Pokemon world is not our world. I know you're gonna say, hang on a second. Those regions, Kanto, Johto, Ho, and Sinnoh, they're all based off of different parts of Japan, but isn't that kind of the point? They are based off of parts of Japan, but they are not to scale. They are not 1-to-1. And let's think about the other regions, like Alola. Alola is based off of Hawaii, but it's 4 islands and a man-made island, and not the 8 that make up the Hawaii archipelago, Hawaiian archipelago. Yeah, that's right. Or Unova, which is the Pokemon variant of New York, except it's a whole region in size with a ton of different environments. Yes, America is referenced as having existed or existing in the Pokemon world, and maybe it does, but America and Unova are not necessarily the same place at all. These places aren't to scale. Some of them have been flipped and swapped over and moved around and changed. It's just like how Westeros from HBO's Game of Thrones is based off of England. Lots of similar environments and climates, but they are not the same world. They are not the same place. And Westeros is a really good point, because in Westeros, winter is coming.
Winter is coming.
Winter is coming.
Winter is coming.
Winter is coming. Winter is coming. I'm cold.
In the show, the seasons are much longer. In fact, the character of Arya Stark is 9 years old in the books, and she has never seen winter. It has been summer for over 9 years, and that's just the way seasons can work in fictional worlds. But it's not just that this could be the case for the Pokemon world, it's more than likely that this is the case for the Pokemon world. Different lengths of seasons. In fact, I suggest that the seasons are probably far more rapid. Let's take a look at one of the Pokemon Matt Pat uses to determine the seasons in later episodes. Dealing, a Pokemon that changes its form with every new season. In the game's internal clock for Black and White, a season is 1 month. 1 month autumn, 1 month spring, 1 month summer, 1 month winter. That means you're passing 3 cycles of all 4 seasons every single year. And you might think that's just a game mechanic, but let's also look at the TV show, which is what we're focusing on here. According to Matt Pat, and based on the seasons, Ash Ketchum would be 13 years old partway through Johto. However, we know from a Pikachu short at the beginning of the 3rd movie that Ash is celebrating 1 full year since he first met Pikachu. This is set based on his team having the Johto starters, Chikorita, Totodile, and Cyndaquil. It's set in the Johto region, and Ash is celebrating a year since he met Pikachu. He started his journey when he was 10, this means he's 11 there. Now, I can tell why this may have been left out of the Big Game Theory video because it does kind of contradict everything that's being said about the seasons. So this would make him 11 in Johto, not 13. And if you consider what I was saying already about the seasons passing at 3 times the rate, then that would mean there's actually a weird level of cohesion between what's going on in the games and what's going on in the show. Seasons in the world of Pokemon pass at a rate of 3 times. I wonder if you could use that information to determine the size of the planet and the location of all of the regions. Which, side note, the location of all the regions, that's another Pokemon theory I've done. Anyway, now that we've kind of debunked the whole seasons thing, where does that leave us? With an 11-year-old Ash? Or do we just assume that rather than growing 9 years, as MatPat suggested throughout his adventures, Ash just grows 3, a third of that? Well, I'm gonna say no, because there's another big point of contention in the video, and that is the Unova region, Pokemon Black and White. And this is where I'm gonna use another of MatPat's own videos to prove what's really going on with Ash's age. So, I think there's no denying that the Ash between Kanto and Sinnoh is the exact same Ash. Not only does he as a trainer get a lot better, having one of his best teams ever by the time he finishes Sinnoh, but also between Kanto, the Orange Islands, Johto, Hoenn, and Sinnoh, there's these weird transition episodes. The episodes where Ash goes home to Pallet Town and says, hey, I'm gonna go off and adventure a new region because I want to discover new Pokemon. It is all one big story. However, Black and White comes around and suddenly it's like a soft reboot for the series, which is what they were intending. Ash Ketchum is announced as being 10 years old again, so what gives? Well, let's call Ash from Kanto to Sinnoh Ash A, and let's call this new Ash from Unova Ash B. We know that Ash B has gone on the same adventures as Ash A because there's flashbacks in the Unova series showing his adventures with Misty and Brock. On top of this is a shot in the Japanese intro that shows Ash and all of his Pokemon, and wait, Primeape? Didn't he give away Primeape? Let's leave that for just a moment. The Ash from Pokemon X, Y, and Z is a more advanced battler, and there is a transition episode between the Unova and Kalos regions, so again, it seems likely that these two Ashes are the same. So, Ash from Unova to Kalos, they're Ash B. And then, as MatPat points out in his video, the creators had said that the Ash from Alola is a brand new Ash, and people in Alola do tend to be around 11 years old going on their trial. So okay, let's assume that this is Ash C, and we know there can be different Ash Ketchums because in the latest Pokemon movie, I Choose You, and the sequel coming out, we have an all-new Ash. Potentially this is the Ash Ketchum from the Alola region in his formative years, for all we know. It entirely retells the origin of Ash Ketchum, so this is either Ash D or it could be Ash C in his earlier years. But again, Ash C in the first episode talks about how he trained Tauros, so how can that be? Well, I hate to just throw out the Pokemon Multiverse card, but MatPat, it was your video, and actually it makes a lot of sense. We know that the Pokemon Multiverse exists in the games, and we've already said that there is a level of cohesion between the games and the TV world. But in another episode that MatPat points out in his video, the Multiverse can be confirmed for the show as well. In the episode Time Warp Heals All Wounds, May is transported back in time. Her and Meowth and Squirtle change the course of history, change events, and change the future. And while it could be that the timeline of the TV show is in this state of flux where people can just jump through time and like mess it up and change it. And by the way, given that Celebi exists in the TV show, I don't know why they use the time traveling locket, but it doesn't matter. The point is, what's more likely is that there's a reality A there and a reality B. The one that sent May back in time and then the one that has the altered future. And given that we exist in a world with time traveling lockets and Celebi and lots of other time traveling elements, I mean maybe Dialga's doing something in there, and given that Celebi is traveling all over different timelines all of the time, the chances are that the Pokemon TV show also exists in a multiverse with lots of different timelines. We have 4 Ash Ketchums here, that's 4 different versions of reality. Perhaps the thing that makes these different, one of the things that makes these realities different, is the age at which a trainer can go on a Pokemon journey. It's possible, it's the multiverse, where any different variation of events can occur. This way Ash can still be 10 at the beginning of Black and White, still be kind of inexperienced because he's young, but also have gone on past adventures. And don't believe me? In the very flashbacks in the Black and White era, things are a little bit different. There's a shot that used to have Brock that now has Misty in it. Why would they change that? There was a weird recoloring in the original Japanese that showed Ash having a Pidgeot instead of a Pidgeotto. Perhaps at that point his Pidgeotto had evolved. There's lots of background characters and shots that they didn't bother to animate for the flashback episodes, and heck, we've already talked about Primeape. In his original journey, Ash left Primeape, or perhaps in the Unova saga, he didn't leave Primeape. And like I say, the backstory of the Alolan Ash may well be that of the I Choose You Ash. They may be the same character, or they may be different timelines altogether. Heck, it probably wouldn't be a stretch to assume that in a different version of reality, Ash's dad married a different woman and they had a kid called Red in Pallet Town. But that's a whole different theory. So there you have it. Map Pack game theory might be your thing, but Pokemon theories have kind of been mine for a few years. That said, thank you for inspiring with your incredible videos. Enjoy this little fun throwback to your theory. I'd obviously love to hear what you think about this theory. For anyone new here, you can check out my placement of all Pokemon regions, or maybe what level is Ash's Pikachu. It's not actually on this channel, it's just one that I think you'd enjoy. And with that, of course, soar high, Pokemon Masters.